Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our flight in discovering just a little bit more of this ancient language expressions a day. So yesterday we came across this tagline of a marketing campaign by the top Chinese athletic brand called Li Ning, who's an Olympian turned entrepreneur and made this successful business that he came up with this logo, just like Nike came up with just do it, right? This kind of encouragement of like a direct, almost like I give you an order to do something, like just do it. So the Chinese version of that is anything is possible. 一切皆有可能 is also kind of encouragement to give people hope that you can strive for something, even it looks like beyond your scope, but anything is possible. That's the attitude. Okay, so today we have 能, well, I should highlight this one as well. 能上能下. And if you notice, yesterday in 可能, 可 is this divine decoders permission. It's the time to do something. You can do something. And neng is this captured beast within that net. So this beast, the raw energy from the four-legged animals, this is the muscle, this is the head, and then this is the net, that have two connotations or two basic meanings. One is to have some talent, talent in the sense of is highly capable. In terms of beast, the beast probably is highly capable of some special, could be run faster or dig a hole faster, something, right? It's a very specialized capacity that humans are no match to. So that's the kind of talent concept. And the second one is energy. Because the beast and the raw energy from the beast is also most likely four-legged animals are more powerful in terms of muscular capacity. They probably can attack humans just one-on-one basis, like easily. So I'm picturing actually a bear within a net. So this is more like a four-legged bear with big bicep. That's a bicep-looking muscle representer, and then with a big head. So that energy, the concept of energy also captured in there. So now it becomes can, because eventually in language use, when you have the talent, when you have the energy to do something, the two things combined, actually, it was born from the same character, right? The can, the neng can mean both the energy and your capacity to do something. And then that becomes like, you have the basis to do something. Yes, you can. That becomes like the divine decoder's message. Like you don't need to have the divine to tell you what you can or cannot do. When you have the energy and the capacity to do something, you know it internally, you have that, then you give yourself permission to do something. That's my reading of the neng turned into the concept of can. It's self-permission to do something. Okay. Then, we have double here. And then we pair it with upward pointer, downward pointer. So 能上 means going up, 能下 going down. And if you notice the ancient symbols, this is a letter T, right? This is a reverse letter T, upside down. And basically, it's a simple structure. It's just two strokes. I mean, the only one stroke character in Chinese is number one, horizontal. I think that's true. Unless we consider the gong, which is in one stroke, but in a serpentine twists and turns way. But one stroke horizontal line is our number one. You cannot be simpler than that. And then two strokes, we have several ways to pair to create two-stroke symbols. And this is one of them, just two-stroke. So one horizontal line, that doesn't mean one anymore. That, well, you can consider as one, because one as the benchmark, as that's your starting point. That's your ground truth, basically. And then you have this pointer either going up or down. And I mean, how visually direct is that? This is going up, this is going down. And as humans living on planet Earth, living with gravity, we all have this sense of up and down, which is away from the gravity toward the gravity, right? That's like naturally born. We were born into this condition. So you notice the simplified Chinese actually is more complicated than the traditional Chinese. I mean, for most of the case, you see this neng simplified is simpler than the traditional Chinese, which basically in this case get rid of the net, and we kind of standardize these strokes to make it more easier to write, but still like capture the visual elements over here in a simpler way to write. So that's simplified Chinese. We get rid of something, right? But here we add something. And this language complication process in the language evolution, I occasionally see. So this up and down characters that are commonly used in our language, because if you want to go directions, right? We, besides the left and right, front and back, then it's up and down. It's a three-dimensional world. So up and down, they are commonly used in the language, and especially up and down, how to say, paired with our social being nature, our social ladder kind of sense, that going up means you are stepping up, you are going somewhere, right? And down is like downward going. It's not a preferred state. Everybody wants to go upward, right? So that kind of social mobility, up and down, that pyramid sign, up and down, right? So all that visual elements that were associated with this vertical movement use up and down. That means these characters are commonly used. So for it to reduce the possibility of mistakes, of like, okay, in a context, because Chinese is contextual language. When it pair with other characters together, we can kind of guess. Even if there are mistakes, typos, we probably can guess. But I'm pretty sure down the history in the textbook or in the scripts of original Chinese, there are plenty of typos that kind of throw us off track of what that language, I mean, what that original character should be, and then people replace it casually with something else, and then the later language user kind of lost track of what's the original. In any case, this up and down, later on we add one extra line here on this vertical line. So we'll add another semi-horizontal line or a little bit diagonal line to give you a sense of like a further, like that's what I mean. There's no mistake. This is not a mistakable message. That's my interpretation. But to me, this up and down is enough to show. So here, up and down, because the Chinese language is kind of abstract, it's not as accurate as English in the sense of the scope of each character, how it functions, the meanings it carries, its multitudes. In English, yes, each character can be interpreted in different ways as well. Yes, in the dictionary, often we have multiple entries regarding one word, right? In Chinese, it's especially so. And up and down can mean both static and dynamic up and down. Static means it's above something. So in English, it becomes above, on top of, that's static. And dynamic is going upward, it's motion, it's toward that, that's tendency going, momentum going that way. So that's both shang and xia, both can be viewed as a motion, in motion. that's moving toward upward or downward, or static. That means it's already above something or below something. So it's a very versatile word. And how you determine what's the meaning? Through context. So in this context, 能上能下 means you can be placed. You can be placed on top of something or below something. Does that make sense? Not really. That means, okay, in terms of social mobility, let's view it that way, it's easier. It means you can go upward or you can go downward. And we know, like, as our natural setting, everybody prefer to go upward, right? You make more money, have an easier life, be more influential. Isn't that everybody's goal? Like climb up your social ladder? Isn't that going upward the same? But the vicissitude of life, the fluctuates, it's not as dramatic as stock market, but it has ups and downs, right? It's not always upward motion. And so here, this phrase exactly talking about this 能下 portion, because 能上 is more natural to us. One is a 下, one is a downward going for you life-wise. For example, you got fired or you got to break up, something feels like a downer to you, then this phrase is telling you, you need to have that capacity. You need to, or energy, right? Capacity or energy. You give yourself that permission mentality that you can go up. Yes, that's everybody wants to go, but you can also go down. It won't break you. You still have the capacity to go up and down, like no matter what direction you're going. So that's what we're talking about. And I try to find English concept, and maybe resilient is a good one to go with this. And I use this hot air balloon to show that you can modulate how much hot air to put into that balloon to go up and down. It's controllable. Versus in life, it's not really up to you, right? A lot of times we just go with the flow, and the flow can go carry you upward or downward. And as humans, we have to acclimate to that kind of fluctuation, vicissitude in life, so that we don't break ourselves, right? We have to be able to 能上能下. Okay, cashing into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.